Hey, this is Tracy Goody, your soul alchemist, and I want to talk a little bit today about my newest training, the Ascension Alchemy Method Akashic Records Training and Certification Program. So if you have been feeling a call or a connection or curious about the Akashic Records, this is your time to jump on. What I've been noticing for the people that are joining the course and for the soul clients that I'm connected to on this is a lot of people are feeling kind of this pressure and bombarded with shoulds and advice and options, but they just want a clear-cut answer that feels really good to your soul. And this is where this program really comes in because it connects you into your Akashic Records, which is the book of your soul, so that you can be cutting out all of these extra shoulds and all this extra pressure that's going on and really connecting into that. I'm also seeing that some other people, and even you may experience more than one of these symptoms, but some of you are feeling like you're going through this transition, this confusion, kind of this time of rebirth and transformation. So the Akashic Records is an amazing tool to manage all of that, to transmute energy and to gain, again, that clarity and direction that becomes crystal clear when it comes from your Akashic Records, because it is your direct connection. So even if you're going to other people who are psychic, who are intuitive, you're still going to get a very slightly diluted answer, and they may have the clearest connection, the absolute best, but when you're connected into your records, you're still having that very unique connection that only you can grasp the way that everything is coming into you. Now, I'm also seeing some people that are taking this course and that are ready to step into this deeper sense of success, this sense of purpose, this passion, but right now they're kind of freezing up and not sure where to turn or how that's going to happen. It can also show up as kind of feeling a little bit restricted, like something wants to get expressed, but you can't quite grasp exactly what it is. And then finally, another group of people that I'm seeing coming in, and again, you might be experiencing more than one of these symptoms, is a little bit of a lack of confidence and clarity in your purpose and potential. And you want that ramped up so that you can have that energy and that inspiration behind you to be moving forward on your purpose. So this is really more than a training on accessing the Akashic Records. This is more so helping you to attune your energy, deepen and expand your own conscious connection to the records in a balanced, multidimensional way. So that sounds kind of loaded and it does sound kind of out there, but it is a very practical program at the same time that it's very, multidimensional and ascended as well. So the weekly overview, what we're going to be working with is, for the first 6 weeks, the program is 9 weeks long. For the first 6 weeks, there's going to be a new video module, and that's going to be delivered every Saturday for the first 6 weeks. And then plus there's going to be supplementary material. So sometimes it's energy healing or activation or workbook, whatever that week calls for. So those are delivered on Saturday so that you can have some time. I know some people have more free time, for example, on a Sunday to get stuff done. Some people throughout the week. So I want to make sure that's super available for you. So you have time to digest that content before Thursday, which is our live Zoom call, where we're going to dive into the video module. I'm going to be there for any questions and to help you understand and see what's going on for you from your perspective. And then from week 4 and after that, we're also going to be doing some breakout sessions in those Zooms. So you're practicing with other students to really get your feet into the Akashic Records and see what it's like to be reading for other people. And it's a really safe, non-judgmental space where you are encouraged to just share whatever's coming up for you and allow yourself to grow. This is really an incubation for allowing your soul gifts to come out just as much as it is to connect into the Akashic Records. So I do want to go over a little bit what we are covering in each week of this program. So week 1, now, every week, in addition to what we're learning, also has these energetic themes about them. So week 1 is about success and freedom, self-worth, and flow. I understand that in order to really connect into the records, because I've had many years of practice with this, to really connect into the records in an effective way that helps to propel your life forward, there's a lot of other things that need to go into place, not just actually accessing the records. So week 1, success, freedom, self-worth, and flow. We're going to be learning my Ascension Alchemy Method, the base for transformation. So again, that's my particular method. You'll learn more about that in week 1. We're going to be expanding awareness and understanding of multidimensions and of the Akashic records. So we're going to come in looking at it. We're not just going to jump right into the records. First, we're going to give our logical mind a little time to come on board. So we're going to look at how far science has come and what we actually know about this Akashic field, this Akashic records, multidimensions so far. And I'm also going to share my experience too, so that then you can kind of begin to expand your perspective and see what feels true for you. We're also going to be focusing on the heart and the Earth Star chakra. The heart chakra is the gateway to the Akashic records. Without this certain level of self-compassion, it's very tricky to access the records. So the more that we are ascending and working with the heart chakra, the easier it's going to be to connect. And same goes for the Earth Star chakra, which is just below your root chakra. This is our anchor to effectively work in the records, because when you're working in the records through the Ascension Alchemy method, you're working multidimensionally, so it's very high vibrational that you're working with. And in order to bring that down and allow it to be practical, we need to start working and expanding that Earth Star chakra right away, because the deeper we can go with that Earth Star chakra, the more connected and grounded we are in the earth, the more these activities that you're doing in the Akashic records are going to make real changes in your life. So this is week 1. Week 2 is all about surrender and empowerment and an expanding perspective. So this is when we're actually going to go in and experience and access dimensions 1 through 9 and working multidimensionally. So again, if this doesn't make any sense right now, if this is kind of beyond what you've done before, it's totally fine. We ease into it, we go, you have your own experience with it. There's not like a test on this. Everybody is going to experience it a little bit differently. So it's more important to be open and to be empowered and to be just feeling compassion in yourself, and then you're going to have the right experience for you. So we're accessing and experiencing dimensions 1 through 9 and multi-dimensions all at once. And then we're also going to be working with the 12 chakra system to balance your energy. Again, balancing your energy so that you're not just, in the records getting information, but then nothing really comes of it is very important to me. So we're also going to be doing a lot of energy activations and attunements in week 2, and we're going to be talking about validating your experience and intuitive development. So I know some people out there are not sure if they can really open this much intuitively, like if it's actually possible for them. I want you to know that it is possible, and actually stepping into the unknown where you're not sure, this is such a good energy to be in. This is an amazing energy to be in. This is where you move into your potential, and I'll be addressing and guiding you to work through some common intuitive blocks as well. But when you do have that energy about you, that kind of curiosity energy, but also like some self-belief, even though you don't know, all the hows or exactly how everything is going to work out, but you're taking action anyway with that curiosity, that childlike wonder is so impactful for creating big change and big success in your life. Now moving on to week 3, and I have to try and ground myself a little bit more because I'm getting very excited about this. So week 3 is all about personal power, responsibility, and truth versus illusion. So this is the week where we are actually diving in to access your records. And I do have a process that will guarantee your connection to the records. And the process is an 18-point process. It goes by pretty quickly because we're just focusing on certain areas to allow that access and that energy to come in. And this is my personal process to connect to the records. We're also going to open up to some more kind of general ways to access the records as well. But with my specific process, you can be kind of in a state where you're not sure, you don't fully believe, you might be in a state of resistance, and still as you go through the process, you'll be able to access the records. So it's pretty cool that way. And it can take like 20 minutes to access the records that way if you're in a state of resistance. But when you're in a state of flow and you're in a state of openness, it can happen very, very quickly within a few minutes. We're also going to be talking in week 3 about moving from third dimensional to fifth dimensional living. So this is through mindfulness, through working in the Akashic records. And all that I mean by that, whenever you are living from a third dimensional place, you can get stuck in confusion, in lack, in scarcity mindset, and victim energy, and feeling like things are happening to you. Whenever you're moving into an ascended 5D living, fifth dimensional living, you are more in a state of flow. You're in a state of allowing. You're in a state of abundance. You're in a state of miraculous things happening to you. So we want to be moving from 3D to fifth dimensional living. And again, through mindfulness and the Akashic records. So of course, we're going to be practicing in the records, and we're going to be understanding how to create empowered questions, because it's all about the questions that you ask in the records. Whenever your questions are really high quality, you're going to get high quality answers back, and you're going to be able to make progress quicker, as opposed to whenever your questions are not quite as solid, then you're not going to get what you want out of them. And I know that sometimes I'll even go, for example, if I'm doing a reading thread or a reading on a Facebook Live or something like that, and somebody asks a question, I'll go into the records and ask it. And the record keepers there and the guides there will just say, no, you got to shift that into an empowered question if you want the answer. So I'm at the point now where guides just will not even tolerate questions unless they are coming from an empowered place. And you may notice that too as you're diving into the records. Now, if you're not sure that you believe you can actually do this, if you're not sure you believe you can actually access the records, then this is the week where you're really going to begin to prove it to yourself. So you don't have to fully believe that you can do it right now. We're going to work into that. All right, so moving on to week 4. And now, keeping in mind, every week after this, we're also going to be practicing your personal records. And then in week 4, we're moving into compassion and peace and oneness. So these foundational pieces that we were learning in week 3 around 3D to 5D living come down into week 4. This is when we're going to start to move more into integrity and best practices as a healer and intuitive to keep both your energy secure and nourished and that of the person you're reading for. We're going to be moving into clarity and courage, uncovering your soul gifts, and reading for others, of course. And this is the week you'll start practicing with others. And personally, whenever I was first learning the records, it was really handy to be practicing reading for others, even if you just intend to use the Akashic records as a personal tool. Reading for others helps to validate your experience. It helps to give you confirmation on what's coming through for you, so that can increase your confidence level, so that when you're connecting into your own Akashic records, you have that greater confidence and you have the confirmation from reading for others to know that what is coming through is legitimate. All right, moving on to week 5 here, where we move into the energy of joy and fun and curiosity. And this is whenever we're starting to shift energy in the records. This is when we're expanding your gifts. We're releasing limitations and pressure. And we're also awakening and expanding your energy healing gifts. So whether you already have a background in energy healing or not, this is when we're going to deepen that. And this is where we're really going to put into practice the Ascension Alchemy method to be working in the records. Now we're moving on to week 6, our final week of new content. So the new content stops after week 6 so that we can really get into the practice sessions and really make sure all the questions are answered and we're fully feeling confident in this. So week 6 on our final video module, we're going to be tuning into balance, wisdom, expansion, and miracles. So this is whenever we get into practical application. We get into ascended intuition, so ascending your intuition so that it's more clear and more confident. We're going to get into creative ways to use the records, and this is a lot of fun. And we're going to look at the pathway of energy in the records, so understanding the energy and shifting the energy of the records, and how to integrate that into physical, because that's very important too. So if you're feeling like in this place of pressure and shoulds, if you feel like you're pulled in many directions, the records are really going to allow you to focus on the most impactful priority and teach you to trust yourself. It's so, so, so powerful. And something else that's been coming up too is, again, it's just underlying fear of success. So what I notice, and I notice this for myself too, whenever I have the opportunity to take a new program or a new course where I feel drawn to it, but then I feel something kind of resisting around that. And I notice what comes up for me sometimes is subconsciously, I know that this level of connection, this program, this teacher is going to help propel me into success and alignment. And I have a little bit of resistance. Am I ready for that level? So if you're feeling that little bit of resistance towards the course, just tuning into yourself and seeing how that feels, and know that you are ready and you only need to take the first step today to secure your space in the course. But just kind of tune into that and see if that's playing a factor in creating resistance for you. So again, week 7, 8, and 9, this is where we're just going to continue the weekly mentorship and practice sessions. And the more you practice the records, the easier and more fun it becomes. And fun is a big part of this as well. If you're not having fun with it, then what's the point, right? You're supposed to be having fun with it to move yourself into your potential. The energy of success follows the energy of joy. Now, if you are interested in the certification aspect of this, you're going to receive a certificate and a badge for your website, and then a listing and a link on my website that you're a certified practitioner as well. So for that, you need a minimum of 9 hours in the records, which you should be able to do if you're practicing consistently with it. And you need a minimum of 9 practice sessions. So these practice sessions, 6 of them can be done with other students. And then the final 3 sessions can be done with people outside of the group. And with those sessions, I do require either a written report or an audio, like you can record a voice message or something like that of your experience, and then also an impression from the client you're reading for. So certification is fairly simple, and it doesn't require any extra money from you or any extra training or anything like that. It just requires the practice sessions, and I just need to know that you have a full grasp on kind of what's going on, how this is all working, and some feedback from people that you're working with to make sure that it feels really good for them as well. All right, so if you have any questions, please just drop them in the comments below, and I will be totally happy to answer those. I am incredibly excited about this training program. It's going to be so much fun, and it's going to be so impactful, so I really hope that you will join me, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye.